to grow?
I'm Larry Davis. I'm the Cal Hotel Garden and Field Coordinator, and I just help try to spread the love and the greenness to the California hotel residents.
Hi, my name is Saki Kabala and I'm the Growing Justice Institute Coordinator here at People's Grocery.
My name is Nyame, Selassie. What I do is what I can wherever I am. And right now, the piece that I'm working on is the Black Living Institute and food sovereignty as it relates to a people's natural and divine right.
Food sovereignty is that the residents that live in the community have access to the land. For example, that park that we were on across the street, that people actually have ownership of the seeds. They have access to making decisions around what's planted, where the food goes, and it's a creation of a local food system. No one external to the community is deciding what happens with regard to food needs in that community. I mean, that certainly may be a utopia, but like there is really a self-sufficient, reliant total model around that, and the ownership is among the folk. The real.
How much power was into food back then as I know now, I wouldn't have been diagnosed with borderline diabetes, high blood pressure, and so on and so forth. So my whole idea is to try to educate people on how powerful you are within yourself if you just get out and touch some soil and start eating healthy and just start looking for more greenery and start planting more greenery. Can't nobody stop you from planting. So make the whole world green. That's my whole. We need to take it back to how we started, and it's right from the ground on up. So to me, I think food is just so powerful to us. It's a shame that people overlook and take it for granted.
I believe that food justice is all people having access to healthy, fresh, local, organic, culturally appropriate food regardless of who they are, where they live, their race, culture, class, nothing. All people should have access to healthy, organic food. Food sovereignty is necessary, and it goes hand in hand with food justice. Whereas food justice is the belief that all people should have access to food, food sovereignty is the belief that all people should have sovereignty. They should have sovereignty over their food and should have local control over their food system. So in a community like West Oakland, food sovereignty means that the neighborhood, block by block, would be able to have control over their food system, have control over what they put into their bodies, and have the ability to make those decisions, not hindered by systemic racism or structural inequity.
Food sovereignty for me is a human right when you come out of the birth canal. And so people don't understand that because we live specifically on this side of the world, but globally, under a system that says certain people own the air and the water and whatever. And so the people have been programmed to believe that they don't have power. But food sovereignty for me is just like every other kind of sovereignty. You have to be emotionally, mentally, physically, and psychologically sovereign to be able to make choices in your life. And so food sovereignty comes in with that because you can't have food sovereignty without social, financial, housing sovereignty. And so the whole process of food sovereignty is just a piece of the sovereignty package, if you will, because once we realize that we are sovereign beings by virtue of birth, then we begin to make choices based on our particular needs and our wants rather than what a policy or somebody or group of people say that we can do. Black Living Institute, more than anything, is a way of life. It is how we build structures more sustainable, and that is on an interpersonal level, as well as structures from the ground up, off-grid, how we grow our own food, how we make space for the geniuses that we have in the street that don't go to school, that they can invent, go into the lab and do their own engineering projects, have sacred space for movement and places to cook for community. And that's anywhere that we can find land to do it from the ground up, or to be able to take some of these dwellings and, given the systems that they're on, to be able to make them more sustainable. And it has art and beauty and all of the things that make you, when you wake up in the morning, say, aha, instead of
It's an off-the-grid community that provides support and structure and programming for community members to become engaged in radical design and engaged in community building, community organizing, and living sustainably and off the grid. By removing and creating a platform for people to step outside of the system, we're creating more pathways to support sovereignty.
My relationship with food now is more education, and it's more being more aware. It's kind of also too, I've learned that not just having the education to really know about food and how healthy it is, but it's also how to implement it. So I'm embarking upon a journey over the next however long it takes to change those bad habits that were taught to me as a child, and now being an adult, learning how to take those bad habits and education and training and access and being able to change those things. And it's not something that comes easy. It's a hard ordeal. I've tried to lose weight on numerous occasions. In some cases I was successful, but then also I kind of went backwards. So I'm looking to rally the community, looking to rally people behind me and my efforts to beat it, to beat the obesity, to beat the bad habits that we've created in our lives as we continue to grow. And we're going to do that with in multiple ways. One of them is by education about food and eating healthy and living a healthier lifestyle. One of the things that I was thinking about here was, during our farmers market, we would have an opportunity for people to buy fruits and vegetables, come into the restaurant, and then we could prepare it and then allow them to taste what we could actually transform these fruits and vegetables into, such as juicing. We'll have a fresh juice bar here where they'll be able to do fresh juice and take it home and then learn from that and then be excited about coming back next week to do it again and until it becomes something of a habit. So we have to change those habits, and it takes repetition, it takes implementation. And sometimes you just got to know how. A lot of people give you information and they give you access, but they don't give you the know-how. I can take all of the information home, I can take all the food home, but if I don't really have the know-how, then it could probably not be good for me. It probably not work for me. So I'm looking for real solutions that will solve problems and it starts with me. I'm the prototype, if you will.